Alright, guys, I am back. I am feeling a little bit better today. I've been trying to mostly sleep off this, whatever I had, this sickness or whatever. So I found out something interesting. Um, I know Onision does watch my videos because I did a little test a while back. You remember when I put up the Eminem song, and I know that when you put up a song by another artist or a pretty well-known artist, UMG, the Universal Music Group, loves to copyright claim videos with any type of music in it as soon as they catch it. Well, I know Onision copyright claimed that video, so that one should be fun. Um, I know uh, he is stealing videos from other people, or not stealing videos, he's copyright claiming them on someone who doesn't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. Boy, I don't even have 1,000 subs yet. And you're gonna try to copyright claim somebody that doesn't even make money on videos? I guarantee you that if I do make money on these videos, I guarantee you I'm gonna turn the monetization off on every video that you copyright claim, so you don't get a damn cent. That is until if you go to prison or not. We'll see. We'll see, Psycho Brat. Alright, so we got 2 videos to go through today, and that's it for the intro. And now for the plug. So I do have a Patreon. Thank you, Lorrie Bell. Absolutely amazing. You donated that $5 to the Patreon. Um, I don't know what I would do at this point for $5. I'm still looking at doing a podcast for it, but I'm still figuring that out. There's a kind of a lot to go through with that. Maybe just talk about my problems I have with the government. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure stuff out. If you need the link to my Discord, I'll send it to you through DM there. So anyway, that is the plug. Now let's go into the videos. Let's go into this one is called One More, and the other one is called Just Questions. I think this is really the big one that a lot of people are ready for. And this is one called One More. I don't know what he's going to say here. I really don't know. I don't want to, but we're almost done with the white shirt videos. Thank God. By the way, all of these videos are
Okay, I got it.
By the way, all of these videos are going to be in a playlist if you want to check them out. And the link to the playlist I'm going to put in the description of this video. So go check that out if you haven't checked it out yet.
To talk faster in this one because I got to be somewhere, I got to do stuff. But there's some more stuff about Sarah that is kind of important to help you understand who that person is. These things were previously protected by an NDA, but they're not really anymore because she already broke the NDA, so I can basically tell you everything. All right.
Oh, so the NDA that you obviously didn't have notarized. Okay, we're gonna go with that. An NDA that you would force anybody to make that you live with you. Gotcha.
So she admitted to selling prescriptions of her own, which is a felony, could be up to 5 years in jail. She did this publicly, and she did it to me. I told her to stop, and I told her that, she and I couldn't have any relationship or friendship or anything if she continued, or at least I felt that way. And this happened at Taco Bell when I said that. Additionally, she said that she had tried cocaine, which I thought was pretty crazy, not good.
By the way, when you're young, it's okay to experiment with different things. Like you want to try cocaine, you want to try heroin, you want to try marijuana, you want to try different kinds of drugs. It's completely okay. But don't share needles. Don't if somebody offers you, don't take it from a stranger. Don't take it from anybody. Do it from somebody you know or somebody you trust. Or just say no at all. Like it's fine to try different things. I haven't done any of the things myself. Um, the only thing I've ever done was smoke. That's it. Um, But it's been like 2 years since I have, so let's keep going.
But, these were things that I was willing to look past so long as she promised not to do it again, because these are both illegal acts. If you have possession of cocaine, that's like another 5 years in prison or something, maybe more. Additionally, there was some weird stuff that happened because we were in kind of a zone where, like, we had been together.
I mean, we already knew she did that. She posted it on a Twitter saying, I did cocaine, use it against me. I remember her saying that on Twitter. It's fine.
Like everyone, when she was in a...
It's probably because she tried it, and it's like an experimental thing. A lot of people do it. Some people don't even go through more of it. They just do once, and that's it.
Adult, January 2019, I think is, yeah.
By the way, she just turned 19 and a half yesterday. By the way, happy birthday, Sarah. Or happy half birthday, I should say, because of how Greg likes to phrase things.
So she was 18 and a half. And then we just weren't together because Kai didn't want to be with her, and I was trying to respect Kai's boundaries there. I'm not always great at showing Kai the respect that he deserves. Anyway, so the way she would get around it is...
so it just means you're a bad dad and a bad husband. Got it.
She would, like, have me come lay next to her in the room that she was, and we wouldn't be doing anything, but she would ask me to choke her, like with my hand, choke her neck. And again, this is a 18 and a half year old, and she would somehow seem to get off on that alone. Like, she would make noises like she was getting off on that alone. She also did this thing where we were moving furniture together because she's a very strong woman. We were moving furniture together, and while we were moving furniture, she got off of the passenger seat.
I don't get what he's trying to claim here when he says that, oh, she was a very strong woman. I don't get what he's trying to say with that.
Where she was buckled up and everything, and then sat in the middle where there was no seat, and then she put her head in my lap. But eventually she turned her head so it was just facing my crotch, and she was just like you know how when you like desk face, like that? My pants were up, my pants were on, nothing happens, but she was just putting her face in that area like she was just smelling it. And I was just like, okay. Like, I didn't know what to do, so I just like sat there. But it was really weird, and she would just like put her face there, and I have no idea why.
Stop putting all this TMI shit. We don't need to know.
When we when I decided to say that I didn't want to, be with her because she kind of shamed me at the movie theater for not wanting to make out with her. She was like acting like I was a bad person for not making out with her, and like I had let her down or something because I really wanted to watch Aladdin and not make out with her. That made me feel like really crappy, and that's kind of what made me like not want to do things with her at all, because it was a real weird thing to me. But as I broke it off, she did that thing where she said, "I'm sorry" to me for RAPING, us, myself and Kai. She apologized for that and then left.
Dude, stop it.
After I said I just didn't want to, have any relations with her because I was really freaked out. That night...
Obviously, you're not going to show the texts or anything like that because you have no proof of that.
I remember, or maybe it was the next night, I remember locking myself in the garage so she wouldn't kill me when I slept because I was afraid of the hostility that she... It's kind of like if you like her, she's your best buddy. But if you reject her, she wants you...
Okay, enough with the whole rejection shit. Enough. We've heard all of it before.
That.
We know you like using words like rejection.
And that's...
I'm going to compile a list of words that Onision says in another video. A whole separate video of words I don't like hearing him say. And it's going to be kind of an extensive list. And these are just regular words that if you have the right context, which are fine, it's just the way that he uses them and phrases them. I don't like it.
She has BPD, or that's what she's expressed to me in the past, that she has BPD. She was on medications, and she would always call it like her speed or her meth or whatever it was that was in the pills. And she would be off her meds, then back on her meds, and so forth. So I was really scared with her condition and with her attitude, like I was dead to her the moment I rejected her, that I was like sleeping in the garage. And I was talking to Kai, and Kai was kind of happy because Kai just didn't want anything to do with Sarah as far as relationships go. And so Kai was kind of glad that we were on the same page now. But anyway, I kind of felt bad because I had rejected Sarah, and I didn't want to be with her, and I knew that might have a negative impact on her, so I think I offered to
See, you see when he's closing his right eye like this, he's really trying to think, and then he makes that weird tell on his face. You can't see what I'm pointing at, but you can kind of see what I'm looking at. It's a big tell when someone lies. It's just how I can tell when someone lies.
take her to eat food or something like that. And on the way home from one of the things that we went to, that's when she accused Kai of smoking marijuana and committing crimes and all that. And
It's not a crime in your state to smoke marijuana, dumbass.
I called up Kai, and Kai's like, dude, I hotboxed. I was in the same room as hotboxing. So Sarah unsuccessfully tried to ruin our relationship, my relationship with Kai, because it wasn't working out with Sarah. So I guess she just wanted to, leave scorched earth or something.
By the way, illegal drugs is another word that I really hate coming from his mouth. Another set of words. Because he's such a stickler about doing drugs and shit, and such a straight edge guy, and whatever.
Anyway, so I took Sarah to the airport when it was appropriate to take her to the airport, and she cried, and I had my arm around her, and she was crying into my shirt, getting my shirt all moist from her tears, and I just said, I'm sorry it didn't work out, but I do love you, I do care about you, and I wish you the best, and I'm sorry that we just can't be a thing because this is just really not working. And she's like saying that she just wanted to know what it was like to have a boyfriend, and that again triggers me because it's like, you were not supposed to be here for me. You were supposed to be here for Kai. You were supposed to make Kai's life better. It wasn't supposed to.
No, you were supposed to take care of her as a daughter, from what we all know from what you said before. So was what you said before wrong, or was it supposed to be a relationship with Kai, just like the Billy, just like the Shiloh, or Shiloh was just yours, or was it supposed to be something else? Because we don't know. You lie so much, you run over them. And
about me, it wound up being about me, and I didn't like that, and that's why I bailed, because I realized that all she wanted was me. And it goes all the way back to when she told that person that she was going to end her own life, because she thought that I hated her, and she was such an overwhelming, like, in love with me situation. And I didn't believe that person when they said it. Then I was just like skeptical because I didn't know the person that well who said it. But then when the things matched up later on, it became a reality to both Kai and I that she was really only doing everything she did involving Kai to have something with me. And I would say that's like a ridiculously egotistical thing to conclude or anything like that if she had
Here one to talk about ridiculously and egotistical.
Had this huge history and this consistent behavior throughout everything. In previous videos, I think I accidentally said that she was 19 and a half, not 18 and a half. Through the years, sometimes I'm bad with numbers.
Oh, we know. You like to put and a half through everything, so you got caught in a lie, so.
But no, it was 2018 December, not 2019 December, so she would have been 18 and a half.
What? No. Okay.
When she made that video about Kai and texted me saying Kai's totally innocent, made a video about Kai being totally innocent, and she contradicts later on, says it's a totally different story. And
No. She came out later saying she didn't want to do that video. But yeah, she used a completely different camera because she didn't want to use that main camera that you made her use.
Did that bloopers video with the hat adjusted in the wrong room with the wrong camera and all that stuff, and people believe what they want to. So,
by the way, you're not Mr. Innocent in this, by the way. You're not. I don't believe you. Nobody believes you. That's just how it is.
I don't think I have too much more to say about this whole thing other than it's really crappy that this all turned out, and if Kai does in fact move forward with leaving me, as he indicated, then I am just going to be with a love doll. I plan on never dating anyone ever again. Not marrying.
I don't care. Nobody cares. You're gonna have a good love life in prison.
Not doing anything, because I've learned that when you dump somebody, Like, I've broken up with every single person who's going after Rage Fest. Like, everyone I've dated who is mad at me right now, I've broken up with. And I broke up with them either for lying, for committing crimes. I think that's actually the two biggest things. Oh yeah, and cheating on me, and getting pregnant with someone else's baby. That's kind of a big thing. So,
And you're not going to talk about the fact that the other baby was yours first, that she miscarried. You're an asshole.
if these people really had a problem with me, I feel like they should have talked to me about it, or maybe dumped me. I know that my life isn't the most functional, but Bobody's nerfect, right? Pobody's nerfect. Pobody's nerfect. So, when I see all these things online about this crazy, people keep talking about kids. There's no kids. Like, there's no crazy ring or anything like that. All these years are encompassing. All these events are encompassing. Like, I was with Billy off and on for months. Sarah was around our house as a friend for months. And we have numerous witnesses. My mom, our nanny, people I've worked with. A number of people have seen everything. And so I'm sitting here going, this is all one big crazy circus because I didn't talk. And I didn't talk because I was threatened to be left by my spouse.
Oh my god. Fucking pussy.
Spouse said that he would leave me if I made these videos. And he has his reasons. I think it's because he doesn't like drama and he doesn't want to discuss any of this because he doesn't feel it's...
Well, we know that Kai is also very guilty, so that could be another reason.
anyone's business.
You did say before that if you don't talk, the guilty doesn't talk. So, what does that also say about Kai? I don't know.
I, however, take a different route because I feel like...
I mean, the way that he goes about everything, it's just very weird and very telling. I don't get him. I don't think I ever will. Unless any of you do. I don't know. I'm going to try to get through a couple more of these today, since I'm off work.
The truth will set you free. So, not sure what else I'm going to say from here, other than I don't know why everyone is so retarded. Because...
well, there you go. You're going off on the word that a lot of people will hate you for. Good one.
This has been one of the most retarded...
I've said the word retarded before, and a lot of people hated me for it, and I can see why. But, you know, you just say things, you've got word vomit, you just say whatever the fuck you want. So.
Experiences of my life. If it is wrong to reject somebody until they turn 18 and a half, and then not reject them anymore when they're pursuing you, I don't know what to tell you. That is not a crime.
Actually,
it's weird to be in polyamorous relationships in general, but if someone's 18 and a half and you're not their dad, you're not their mom, you're not their aunt, you're not their uncle, you're not their brother, and they're not their sister, you're not legally connected to them in any way, I just don't know what you people want. But one thing I will say is that I am tremendously sorry to my spouse, who I have...
if you were, you would have...
I've just been so unfair to him, and...
if you were actually, you would actually have talked to Chris Hansen, but you were such a pussy that you actually, you know, called the police on him, which is hilarious. We're going to get into that in the next video.
He's paying for my bad decisions, and I'm sorry to him.
No, you're not. We all know that you are not. Alright, that's another video done. That was just ridiculous. And we have one called Just Questions. We'll see what he has to say here. Alright, let's check this one out.
Hey guys, I have some questions, and I'm hoping Mr. Hansen will answer them. Maybe live. If you could answer these questions live. So Mr. Hansen, if you're watching, stop watching, start your live stream, and go ahead and answer these questions live. First off, I want to seriously know, where do you get your numbers for anything that's going on? We have this situation where I dated someone named Billy. She was 19 when I dated her. I dated someone named Sarah, who was 18 and a half when I dated her.
The fact is that, the problem is Billy was actually, I think, 17 when you guys started talking, and Sarah was actually 14 when she started talking to Kai, and then, well, no, she was 12 years old when she started watching you, 14 when she started talking to Kai, and 15 or 16 when she started moving up there with you, and you started grooming her at that age, and then being a dick, and then, let's see, she was 18, she had just turned 18, there was no and a half, when she was, uh, it's not like this months afterwards, by the way.
I dated someone named Shiloh, like over 8 years ago,
And Shiloh was 17 when you guys started, no, 16 when you guys started talking, 17 when you actually had sex with her over state lines.
yeah, in 2011. And
Violating the law, the Mann Act, by the way.
that was from 17 and a half to 18 and a half. That was legal.
No. You crossed state lines to be with her that day. Dude, you look high as shit in this image.
The other relationships were legal. And those seem to be the only relationships that are actually real that you've covered on your show.
Oh, by the way, and Kai was 17 or 16 when you guys met, and 17 when you started dating, and 17 and a half when you got married. So, I mean, those numbers do add up, by the way. It's not just what you know now. It's from back then.
So what I'm wondering is, what are you doing? You used to be somebody who went after people who preyed on children. You know.
Which 16 and 17 are children, by the way.
No, like a 12-year-old.
So you think a 13-year-old isn't a child? Are you a fucking moron, Greg? You just admitted it to yourself that you would... Wow.
Somebody would try to find a 12-year-old online, and you guys would bait them. They'd show up, and you'd arrest them, because obviously that's definitely what they were into. They actually tried to do stuff with a 12-year-old. With me, you're talking about me dating a 17-and-a-half-year-old when I was 24. And when she was 18 and a half, I broke up with her for cheating on me and getting pregnant with someone else's baby. The age of consent was well within that range, especially since she was Canadian and I'm from Washington.
So you know the legal age of consent in every country. You know who does that? A predator.
But she never crossed borders or anything like that for any purpose. When she was 18, we came back to Washington. So I'm very confused about what crack you're smoking.
Really? You're gonna go off the whole what crack are you smoking kind of shit? Just shut the fuck up.
It's one of the most bizarre and dumb things I think I've ever seen in my life is watch a 60-year-old man obsess over someone online who did not.
It's not obsessing over you. It's actually putting forth a case and putting forth a timeline that is within correct factual evidence. And what you've been spewing out for this past, week that I've been covering it is legitimate bullshit that you've been putting out for the past several years as an actual video. So everything you've been saying is lining up with everyone else's story. So the only thing that's wrong with yours is that you're using and a half to try to justify anything that you say or do. 16 and 17 is still not the legal age of an adult. Consent applies that their parents are okay with it, by the way. And there's a 5-year gap with that.
Nothing wrong. You, Chris Hansen, for some reason, found it appropriate to show up to my house.
Which was, actually.
Which is one of the most psychotic things I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, it's called getting your side of the story, like you've been trying to say.
You and 6 grown men. One of them went to court last year. I think it was last year. If you just look up his name, for sexual assault. Why are you working with that man? Why are you working with someone who was taken to court for sexual assault?
I believe the whole Mike Morse case, I think his case has actually been acquitted. I think he's okay now. I'm not 100% sure. You guys let me know. I'll have to check into that because I know a lot of people are trying to say though he should be taking better care of who he has. I agree. I think Chris Hansen needs to have better vetting of the people he's working with. I do agree with that. But Greg, you're taking the whole thing way out of proportion like you always do.
Also, I'd like to know what you're doing with all this money you're making, because it doesn't
matter what he's doing with the money he's making. What are you doing with the money you make? Oh, I know, splurging on Teslas and MacBook Pros and, buying houses. Apparently not lawyers because you desperately need.
seem that you're paying the victims, right? Because that would be a conflict of interest. So where's this money going? Is it going into according to the news, is it $60,000 in debt to American Express? You got
He's fixed that since then, I think.
Evicted from your home last year, right? Was it last year?
He's not evicted. If you see in some of his videos, he's actually in a home now. He's in an apartment in New York.
And that was
which, by the way, is a lot of money if you think about it. It doesn't matter what he makes on his live streams.
Over $1 million house. And
are you jealous? You sound jealous, Greg.
You had you're like dating or married to a woman who's, was it 30 years younger than you, 20 years younger than you, something like that?
It's perfectly fine because she's in her 40s.
And it's weird because you seem to be this person who likes to pretend that you're against older men taking advantage of younger women.
Only difference is that woman is in her 40s. The women that you're dating or with were in their teens, young teens.
Yet, according to the news, you are an older man taking advantage of a younger woman.
No, that's not the same.
Also, what is with your cameo? You literally will, and I know this is kind of silly to promote it, but it's not like you're not making enough money already. But you will literally tell anyone they're a predator for $50. Where's your integrity? You're making a joke of your whole career. Speaking of your career, did you not lose your career because you showed up to someone's house, or your team did, and they ended their life? And then you show up to my house.
Are you going to try to blame him for something that you could have potentially done? Look, yeah, that happened on TCAP. It did. That's why the show was canceled. I'm pretty sure he's still haunted by it today. Yeah, you should stop making people feel bad about themselves. Really, you should.
With my family inside, you disgusting freak.
You're the disgusting
what kind of nut job goes from someone ending their own life, and you guys got sued and lost $100 million, by the way, according to the news articles. You go from one man ending his own life, and you think, yeah, I should keep showing up to people's houses.
Which is perfectly okay for him to do, by the way.
Like, in some people's opinions, you're a murderer.
He didn't do it. The guy who did it to himself.
Because what you did is you caused some dude who knows what he was going to do with whatever he was doing online. He didn't show up to the house. He didn't try to actually sleep with a minor of such a young age. And then he ended his life because of you. And instead of, changing your career field, doing something where you don't end people's lives for a living, you instead try to show up in my house and ignore 3 no trespassing signs.
That doesn't ignore predator catchers from catching you, by the way. It doesn't ignore police. No trespassing, only people for, and besides, he was doing the legal thing, dumbass. If he was doing something illegal, the police would have arrested him on the spot, which they didn't.
Which, by the way, when you're within...
Oh, so how did that go, by the way, for you to call the police on him, and then call and complain to the sheriff department for talking to Chris Hansen, and then complain. I mean, who does that?
50 feet of those, you're trespassing, which is a crime, which could put you in jail for 90 days.
Which he didn't trespass.
You didn't think about that, did you? Or
what about the crimes that you're committing, having cameras off your property, dumbass?
Because it's so weird. You were in my driveway, and you have the no trespassing signs in the background. What kind of moron ignores no?
What kind of moron dates 17-year-olds, 16, 17-year-olds when they're in their 30s?
Trespassing signs.
Late 20s, early 30s. What kind of moron does that?
I really want to know. You're 60 years old, okay?
You're 34 years old, okay?
You got the Amex debt.
You've got 18-year-olds, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that you talk to all the time on Discord, talking very sexually to them.
You got the eviction from your home.
You've got all kinds of other shit that's going on with you.
Your wife, who knows why she left you? You're not an open book with this. You like pointing fingers at everyone else rather than...
Which he's very private, and he doesn't have to speak about it.
Addressing your own issues.
He doesn't have to.
And you have this issue with getting put in jail. There's a mugshot of you online.
Which he already admitted to and already actually paid that problem.
You got put in jail because you promised to pay someone back and you never did, and they kept pursuing you until finally they reported you to the police?
He turned himself in and he fixed the problem. So what's your problem?
So I'm wondering, like, all this money that you're making off the backs of alleged victims, who, by the way, are primarily total frauds and clout chasers.
They're not looking for clout, by the way. They have their own reasons for doing this.
Because I only have ever dated 3 of them. If I'm remembering everyone correctly, most of these people I've never even met, and you're so stupid that you didn't even do a background check to find out whether or not these are clout chasers or actually real people that I've met. And what's insane about you, Hansen, is that someone could just be on your show. They could have never met me in their life. They could have never had any romantic interest in me in their life. And you just add them as a woman to the list of accusers.
No, he hasn't done that, by the way. You're talking out of your ass as usual.
And what are people accusing me of? Sexual assault, you said? When? Where was sexual assault ever? Ever. It makes no
they were 16 or 17 years old.
sense. You are a joke. Your career is a joke. You are in debt up to your eyeballs, and now you're trying to use these people to make money to save whatever your career was. Getting people to kill themselves job? Like, what was your job exactly?
That was a one-time fluke that happened that nobody could have predicted. Even he didn't predict that. So, what's your excuse?
Remember that time that you went to a state where entrapment wasn't legal, and you entrapped a bunch of people, and because of that, they got to go free. That was a news article I saw. You helped people go free. So now they're going to be super paranoid not to get caught because you screwed.
So you're just advocated for, assault right there? You just advocated for it.
Screwed it up. And you were the best friend of these guys who were pursuing 12-year-olds. So you helped.
No, he didn't.
You helped 20 people who are interested in children get
Clean your fucking mouth, dude.
away with their interests, their crimes.
You look like you just ate a freaking donut and never cleaned off your freaking mouth.
And then you got another person to end their own life. I can't imagine what it's like to be such a failure.
I mean, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror.
Like, such an enormous... I mean, I'm 34?
You don't even know your age. You're 34. Shut up.
So I still have a good chance to get my life together. You're twice my age. And this is your life. I just don't get it.
He's been a reporter before you were born, and he'll be one long after you're in prison, like he said. Just how facts are.
You're one of the biggest jokes I've ever seen in my life.
You're a bigger one.
And the reason I didn't answer my door for you is because I have a family. And when a creepy old man shows up to
Creepy old man, right.
my house with a bunch of other creepy dudes all dressed in dark colors, I don't answer the door. I call the police on them like a normal human being. But you would rather hang out with people who are taken to court for sex crimes, and you would rather have to fire your own employee, apparently Vince, who I guess converted your Facebook and your website to outing you for allegedly paying someone to dox me.
We're not even going to talk about Vince anymore. Okay, Vince was an asshole. Is an asshole. Vince is trying to do everything he can to manipulate Chris Hansen at this point. So, shut the hell up.
I just don't know what your life is. You seem like one of the most corrupt, hypocritical people I've ever encountered. And it's amazing because you're so old that you would think you would have learned by now. Anyway, the reason I won't go on your show, I offered you an opportunity to pay me $350,000 to go on your show.
Nobody would ever does that. Real people don't do that.
That fee is now $600,000.
And Keemstar wants to interview this guy? Good luck, Keem.
Because you are the most pathetic disgrace of a journalist I've ever seen in my life.
He's a better journalist than Keemstar. 100%.
The problem with you, Mr. Hansen, is that you don't know what journalistic integrity is.
He knows more than you ever will.
There's a little thing called bias. And when you ask leading questions, like with Sarah, I was told that you said that because she's been watching me since she was 12, I guess, then that means that she was somehow groomed since she was 12, when she was in fact never groomed at all.
Yeah, she was. It's called having sex with somebody after they turned 18, which you admitted to, by the way, in your last couple of videos.
But you don't care about facts. You don't care
about facts either, Mr. Fax Machine.
About the fact that Sarah tried to marry someone so they could get their green card, which as I understand isn't exactly legal. You don't care that Sarah admitted to doing cocaine. You don't care that Sarah admitting to selling prescription drugs.
Doing it one time doesn't mean that someone is a bad person, by the way.
You don't care that Sarah has repeatedly made statements about a laptop that makes absolutely no sense, as that's a laptop that never belonged to me.
It's a laptop that has all the evidence on it, by the way. It's a laptop that actually has evidence. It doesn't matter if the laptop is yours or not.
And the last person it actually was used by was somebody who doesn't even live in this house.
And?
Additionally,
that's still evidence.
The chain of command of that laptop was the worst thing ever. First it was allegedly turned into a police, right? And then it was allegedly back in Sarah's control. And then it was allegedly sent off to you guys. And then it was allegedly sent back. And now it's allegedly with the police again. That is the most garbage piece of... You can't even call that evidence. Because first...
It still is evidence. It's still being looked at. I think Sarah said she was taking it into a different route. And I think she can still contact the Pierce County Sheriff Department, who is working with a detective and who is working with the FBI at this point as well, on the 19 investigations that are open at your house. So what are you going to do? Are you going to talk about those? No, probably not.
First of all, was never my laptop.
It doesn't matter that's not yours, again.
Secondly, last person who owned it wasn't myself or Kai.
It doesn't matter either.
Or last person who used it as their own was neither myself or Kai. And then it was sold to Sarah. And then you guys just passed it around. It's so bizarre that you think that something like that would even remotely hold up anywhere.
You know, what's really bizarre is that you think of yourself as some kind of god and have some kind of god complex. And you think you're untouchable. Well, that's going to change. With you and Kai, by the way.
And above...
It's not just a laptop. There's also a cell phone, which are also evidence.
Above all, Kai doesn't even like porn of any kind. Kai's not into that.
Well, we know you are.
Like, I've never once caught him looking at anything. So, when you try to base your whole case on a laptop that is dirtier and less credible than your career, I don't see where you're going with it.
I see the smugness that you're trying to pull off here, and it's not going to work.
Yes. But yeah, you can
just shut the fuck up, Greg.
Keep talking to people who have no evidence conveniently. You can keep doing everything you're doing. That's not my permission. I'm just saying that this is a free country. But I'm sitting here and I'm watching an old joke pretend that he's still a credible journalist.
Like I said, he's a better journalist than you ever will be.
And I'm watching people take you seriously as well. And
see, I can't even take you seriously. You're the biggest joke on YouTube.
I'm wondering when the normal face is going to wear away and people will see the clown paint underneath.
I was worrying about that about you too. I mean, we gotta look in the mirror sometimes.
But if you could answer all those questions, I'd appreciate it, because as I understand, you going to
and I just answered them all for you.
Jail, and you having enormous debt to American Express and to the person you had to sell, I guess, your boat for to pay back, and your eviction and so forth. I just feel like those are maybe things that you should talk about.
I just feel like, no, they're not. They don't really matter at this point. It's not part of the case. It's his life, you know. What do you do with your money that you get from videos and your million view plus banana song? That's fucking ridiculous. I don't know how anybody can even like that. What do you do with your money? I mean, you're not even going to tell us what you do. I mean, he has to put lights on. He has to have food. You know, he's a human being just like me, just like you. You copyright claim videos that you can't make money on, so.
About how your whole life is in shambles.
I mean, your life's in shambles, so it's your one to talk.
And that the only thing that you have going for you is a bullshit case against a YouTuber who the worst thing he did was fucked an 18-year-old.
After she was supposed to be living at your house as a person that you were taking care of.
Yikes, bro.
No, I'm cringe.
But yeah, to everybody else, there's more videos coming and whatnot. I just wanted to give a shout out to the creepiest motherfucker to ever show up on my doorstep.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard you say, Greg. Besides all the other bullshit that you've been doing.
How weird is that? Fly across the country just so someone won't answer the door for you. They'll call the cops on you, and the cops will wait for you to leave.
They didn't wait for him to leave. They actually showed up and talked to him and actually had a conversation with him and ended up actually taking his side. So, the one time you try to call the cops on someone, you smug bastard, the cops actually sided with the person that you called the police on. It's downright hilarious.
Anyway, we'll see what happens with that no trespassing thing. It is illegal to be within 50 feet of no trespassing signs, which
on your property, I think that doesn't even say much.
Which you and your whole crew did, so I guess all y'all might be going to jail.
No, that's not how that works, Greggy.
See, and you know, that's an actual crime. I don't know if you know the difference between real crimes and made up bullshit, but real crime.
I don't think you know the difference between real crimes and made up bullshit, as you like to say.
Crimes are where you actually violate the law, and then you get arrested for it. Okay?
That you.
I don't violate the law because I'm a former U.S. Air Force cop. I don't know what you are. If you served your country, awesome.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Greg.
I don't know. But now you know what I am, which is not willing to lie down and take your horse shit so you can get more ad revenue.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's still playing the whole fact that he was an Air Force cop. once you've been dishonorably discharged, you're no longer that. So that doesn't matter anymore.
And get more donations from people who have no fucking clue what's actually going on. But just a little heads up. Billy, I dumped her because she lied. And I dumped her because she did illegal drugs. Shiloh, I dumped her because she cheated on me and got pregnant with someone else's baby. Sarah, I kicked her out of my life because she went all crazy on me, and I was uncomfortable with all the illegal activities that she was taking part in. Is there anyone else? You said there was 12. That's kind of a shitty case if you think about it. It's just those 3 people? 3 people that I broke up with over 8 years? The fuck?
Jesus Christ, dude. Could you be any more incriminating? God damn. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of these 2 videos in the comment section. I think this is one of his most incriminating ones yet. He backpedaled a lot. A lot of the videos he backpedaled with. Anyway, yeah, let me know if you get what you guys thought about these. I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good thumbnail. Come on. That's actually a pretty good thumbnail. Let me see if I can capture that one. There we go. Alright, we still got a few more of this bullshit to go through. Yeah. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.